So hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome here. So we're going to be doing a review today of the Mars Ice Skin Kill eyeshadow palette. Now this palette has been the talk of the town and literally everyone is raving about this. So let's see whether this is really great for the buck which you're spending. It's a very affordable drugstore brand and they make amazing products, but let's put this palette to a test and let's start off with our looks. So this is the packaging. The packaging is really good. I love the quality which they've spent. It's not at all flimsy. Very good packaging. It's a cardboard packaging and it has a huge mirror inside. And this palette retails for $9.99, but you can get it easily on Amazon or Nykaa for like around 800 during the sale. So I think it's a great bargain. And this has a total of 63 shades. Yes, you heard me right. 63 shades. So that is a lot of shades. It does cover every single color spectrum too, which is pretty awesome. So we're just gonna pick up a purple and apply that towards the outer corner as I'm doing. And you can see that it literally packs a punch of color. So you have very good pigmentation with the matte eyeshadows. Now I've pretty much worked around almost 70 to 80% of the shades in this palette, and the mattes perform beautifully well. Some of the mattes will appear a little lighter than what it looks like on the pan, and then you can build it up, like go for around 2 layers, just pat and press it really well, pack the color in and you'll get a good amount of vibrancy. For example, the first one which I'll be talking about are some of the colors like the reds and the blues in this palette. So you can see a red in action right now, and it is pigmented, it is pretty opaque, it's not chalky at all, but it does not really give you a lot of coverage in the first shot itself. So you need to go for 2 layers to give it a good build up. Now the second thing is that I'm going to start blending out the color purple with a bit of pink. Now usually it's a little harder to blend, and that is what is happening right now. As you can see, I am struggling to blend out the purple and the pink to a certain extent compared to what I usually do. This took me probably around twice the amount of time to work on the blending. I had to keep going back and forth between both the colors, and when you overblend, the colors do tend to slightly fade away, which isn't a big deal, to be honest, especially if you're a beginner and you're looking for an entry-level palette. I think this is definitely, which is amazing that you can get at this price point. So when it comes to the matte eyeshadows, I will definitely give it a big thumbs up, and majority of the palette does have matte eyeshadows. They have three formulations. They have the mattes, the shimmers and the glitters. So we'll talk about the shimmers later, but the mattes perform beautifully. Like, I have no words for this. The mattes perform so well. I'll say that the quality is pretty good, in par with a brand like Be Perfect or the Beauty Bay palettes. They're as good as those palettes. So we're going to do that, blend it out really well, and now so we're just going to go in with a little kohl, and then I'm trying to smudge it out, and you can see that it is not smudging at all because there's powder underneath. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of black eyeshadow, and we just got to fix our mistake and just take some black eyeshadow on a pencil brush and apply it towards all the corners, and you're sorted. So you will not see any of those kind of unblended lines if you do this trick. Just pat some eyeshadow upon it and you're totally good, right? So this is going to give you a much more better opacity, and you can see the black is very pigmented too. So the glitter has a very beautiful reflex, and they're all pressed glitter, so it does have glue. And I'm applying it on my lid literally on a powdery base, and there is no grip or there is no glitter glue which I've used, no concealer, nothing. So it does adhere really well, and I'm just patting it on by using a flat brush. So you can go a couple of times to apply it if you want more intensity. So we're kind of creating like a halo, so it's only there in the middle, that way we have a good amount of shine. So pat it in and slightly blend out the edges too. Now I'm just going to apply a little bit of purple along the lower lash line, blend it by using some red, and I think it looks beautiful. I love the color combination of this look. I think it's very sunsetty and it just looks perfect. So blend it out, it blends beautifully. Now I'm just going to use a little eyeliner, and I'm just using a liquid liner because there is glitter, and it's a lot more easier. So just kind of pat it instead of dragging, that way it does not move the glitter. And then we're just going to go in for a little mascara because I'm anyways going to be using false lashes. And today I'm going to use the false lashes from a brand called Roscoe's Cosmetics. I love these lashes. So they look so good, and it's not plasticky at all. It's super real like in terms of texture, and it looks really good too. So this is your completed look number one. Mattes in this palette are a big thumbs up. Even the much more lighter neon kind of shades, they're really good. So let's move on to look number two, and we're going to start with a little tape towards the outer corner, and I'm just going to take up this pink. So I wanted to go a little more towards the neutralish kind of color family. So we're just going to go with a pink, and I think it applied beautifully, and I am layering it. As you can see, I'm going for around 2 layers. That way the color is super opaque and you get a good rich intensity going on. They're not chalky at all. They're not patchy when you apply. Even some of the bolder colors like a red, it's not at all patchy. Beautiful formulation. I really like, I'm so shocked, because there was a time where I used to struggle to buy palettes in India when I started probably around 6, 7 years ago. There were barely any palettes which brands were making. So I think it's a beautiful palette. It's great for someone who's just starting out with eyeshadows and you want a palette which has literally all the colors. Now let's talk about the shimmer which I'm using over here. And the shimmer is definitely not the most sparkly or the most foiled shimmer. These are like your basic shimmers, right? Like the most traditional form of shimmers. They do not have a lot of punch and a lot of color. So choose right. If you are a person who really wants sparkly shimmers, then this is not the palette for you. You of course get glitters, but the shimmers are not that great. So let's finish up our look. I just used a little bit of kohl from Colourpop in my waterline, and now I'm just going to slightly add that reddish kind of, reddish brown burgundy tone and slightly blend out the edges. This look is super easy. It's just something which you can actually do, when you're going out. I just wanted to show you a way to use the palette to also create neutral looks. That way, you know that you have options and it kind of covers both the spectrums of kind of looks, the neutrals as well as the much more colorful rainbow kind of tone. So this is pretty good for having a good balance between both the color spectrums. You literally can find any color you're looking for in this palette. So I'm just going to make a tiny wing, and we're going to use some glitter upon the wing in the next step. So make sure that you take the glitter on an angle liner brush, and this is where the problem came in, where the glitter does not stick. So some of the glitters in the palette are a little bit more on the drier consistency. So this was a little hard and it took me a lot of time to place it on. But some of the glitters have that binders which are really good, and sometimes they're dry. So you might have to go in with something a little tacky like a glitter glue. And this is the completed look. I think beautiful palette, amazing. If you're a beginner and if you don't have any eyeshadows at all, or if you're looking for a good eyeshadow palette with a lot of amazing matte options, I think this is a great one for you. So do check it out. I'm leaving the links down in the description bar below for you. So this palette is a big thumbs up from my side. So I hope you all enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more. Until next time, bye.